Hi, this is J.K. Coltrain. Thanks for tuning in this week's edition of the Country Breakout Show. And as you can see, we're doing something different this week. It's our CRS special. We have several guests to be stopping by at the studio here. We're at Gene Breeden's studio in Music Valley Drive. And the guests are stopping in to say some words with us. And we're going to start off with Mr. Bobby G. Rice, my friend from Wisconsin. How you doing, Bobby?
Hey, I'm doing great, J.K.
And you folks might remember Bobby from some of his past hits, like Sugar Shack is the one I think of immediately. But also, You Lay So Easy on My Mind was the monster hit for not only you, but for several artists. And you were going to tell me, you could name a couple other artists that cut this
Well,
song.
you know, yes, I'd be happy to. Andy Williams, Pat Boone, Roy Orbison, Kitty Wells, the Red and Conway.
Wow. So many cuts on one great song. You know, it's a great song with all the artists. I get a kick out of that. Just covered by so many different artists.
And Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer even could record.
Yeah,
that is something.
he come in, so I'm thankful. I'm honored,
Yeah,
of all the people that have covered it.
That is awesome. And as we were talking earlier, you hail from Wisconsin, the dairy state, and you said you still kept your accent. You're still a northerner.
Yeah,
You're in the big South, man.
Yeah, people can pick that up. They can tell. They. A lot of times they'll ask me,
you ain't from around here.
Yeah,
you ain't from around here.
They'll say, "You aren't from Tennessee, are you?"
That's it. Yeah. Yes. Oh, and you were, and as far as starting the business, you were born into it, like me. Grew up in a family of musicians.
Yes, my mother and dad, and us kids and everything. 6 kids, and just didn't know anything else. Come up through the years, I was always singing, and I did have the pleasure of, and I enjoy playing instruments too. We were talking about the bass, like the doghouse bass, electric bass, acoustic guitar, steel guitar. I got into that, and love that part of the business too. I'm glad I was able to. And are able to play something along with the singing.
You still can do it. That's great. And so, which way did it come? Was the Sugar Shack the hit? Did you have the hit, then move to Nashville, or you was already in Nashville when you had that first major?
How we done that and how that worked? I was thankful to be able to get. I had a session set up down here. Okay, I hadn't really thought about recording until a couple of years before I actually was down here. I had something set up down here, and how I met the 2 writers, Donald Riss and Charlie Field. I had something set up, and they had heard about it. Donald Riss was Johnny Howard, who was a program director at a radio station in Madison.
Back home in Madison.
Yeah, and he found out what my intentions were, and he called me and he said, "Hey," he said, "I think I got a better way." He said, "I've been going down there. They had written a Johnny Dollar hit, Big Rig Rollin' Man."
I remember.
And so he had some ties in. He said, "Let's get together and write and so forth." And that's where. So I did that. We started coming to Nashville and demoing our songs, and then I decided to see if I could get a label, and that's when I cut Sugar Shack, and was one of the songs, and that ended up being my first national chart record.
So you were just going back and forth at the time, back and forth.
Yeah.
You finally made the move permanent down here, and
yeah, we moved. My wife and I moved down here in '71, and I was on my 4th national chart record.
That's amazing.
It had a hit also on Mountain of Love, which was in '71.
Yeah.
See, I had it. Now Johnny Rivers, of course, had the pop or rock hit
version of it.
And so I done a country version of Mountain of Love, and I believe it was like a top 20 in Billboard. And the first song that I sang on the Grand Ole Opry at the Old Ryman in '71.
Wow.
And you know that one of the certainly the special times in my career.
It's an amazing career you had, a long one. And I remember fighting you on back in the day. You know, the cash box charts were big. You and I,
Yes.
we battled on the cash box chart back in the days, in the 80s. You know, I can remember those days. So yeah, I do. I remember that well. "You Lay So Easy on Mine." I remember that song very well because that was one of the songs that.
And Record World.
Yeah,
You
Record
remember?
World was around. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Cashbox and Billboard. That was
Yeah,
the three. Uh-huh.
And we watched those charts like a hawk. Us artists was out there because the better we did on the charts back in the 80s, the more we got paid on our gigs.
Somehow it's amazing
It's
how that works.
Yeah. And so we wanted that chart position that, you know, a top 40 song was worth money in the bank. You know, you could afford to pay the band and buy fuel, perhaps.
It was good when it had a bullet, as they call it. You know, bullet was a popular.
Yeah.
That was a popular word, bullet.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, case
Yeah.
in case, I'm saying it's number 14 with a bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's destined for number 1. Yeah,
And Anchor wasn't good.
Yeah. Well, that's great. And so I always love to hear those stories and how, you know, other artists got involved. You know, it's interesting. Like I say, the business has changed a lot, but over the years, and we kind of had to adapt a little bit. We haven't changed a lot from who we were, though, and our music is pretty close to our hearts and pretty close to what we were doing back in the 70s and 80s. We haven't changed a lot. The music has, but we haven't. We hung right in there and still working a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You know, you know what we love to do. You know, in
It's
our
in our
singing,
blood.
it's in our blood,
We haven't-
and the friends and the people that have been there, that are still around throughout the years, and the fans, the people that have been there with us.
Oh, yeah.
You see,
Never forget
that's
the
one.
fans.
You know, they're. So yeah, we're doing what we love certainly, and plugging into the ways and the things that we can.
Yeah. Control.
Yeah.
Do.